Okay, members, the next candidate is Hassan Nur Hassan. Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan, welcome.
Thank you.
And make yourself comfortable. Just a seat as you like it. You have a notebook and a pen. And sometimes water may be helpful. And thank you for being here this time. My name is Nelson Makanda. I'm the chair of this selection panel, and allow me to say that we want to thank you for showing interest in the position that we advertised for member of the Iebc. But we also want to thank you, to congratulate you for being shortlisted. That's why you're here today. So you're welcome. I want to invite my colleagues here to introduce themselves to you. Then after that, we will come to you. Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Hassan Nur Hassan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
My name is Linda Kiome. I want to welcome you for your interview session. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Bwana Nur Hassan, karibu.
Asante.
Naitwa Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa jopo hili la uteuzi. Asante.
Nur Hassan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Caroline Kituku, karibu.
Thank you.
Good afternoon,
Good
Hassan.
afternoon, Prof.
My name is Adam Solo. I'm a member of the selection panel.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Hassan.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nicodemus Bore na karibu sana.
Asante.
Assalamu alaikum, Hassan.
Alaikum salam. Rahmatullah.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Pleasure.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hassan na karibu sana. My name is Koki Muli Grinyo and I'm a member of the panel.
Thank you, Balazi.
Good afternoon, Hassan Nur. My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of the selection panel and we welcome you.
Thank you.
Now we come to you and ask that you introduce yourself to us, highlight those things that are significant for us to note in your profile, and noting that the interview is also public, so it means that there are many who have not seen your CV, so highlight those things that you need to emphasize. Mention to us if you are a member of any professional society, and if at all you have received any award or honor in the course of your professional life. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, plus your distinguished panelists for giving me this opportunity to be shortlisted and be interviewed for the position of Commissioner Iebc. I am Hassan Nur Hassan, born and brought up in the county of Mandera. I went for my earlier schooling in Mandera, primary and secondary. I proceeded for my A levels to Kwale High School, after which I was admitted to the University of Nairobi, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Political Science. Mr. Chairman, I was lucky to have been recruited into the public service and started my career as a district officer cadet. So rose through the ranks. And it's at this time when I was a district officer cadet that I got an opportunity for an exposure for an international elections in Namibia. I was among the 20 Kenyans who were airlifted to go and participate in the Namibian independence election. And we successfully concluded the exercise. Mr. Chairman, I rose through the ranks in administration, the field administration, became a DC, a PC, a DC, a deputy PC, and then a provincial commissioner. Mr. Chairman, after my stint in the provinces and the districts, I moved on to the to the ministry headquarters, where I was posted to the Ministry of Local Government as a director of administration. After that, I also moved to the Ministry of Planning and National Development and Devolution as the Secretary Administration on Promotion. And then my last stint in the ministries was in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation as the Secretary Administration. Mr. Chairman, I also had the singular honor of working as a Chief Administrative Secretary in the last government, in the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage, and also in the Ministry of Education, my last station in charge of technical education. Chairman, I am a member of African Public Administration and Management Society. I'm also a member of Kenya Administration and Public Administration and Management Society, CAPAM. I am also a member of Center for Institute for Civil Defense and Disaster Studies of the UK. That is a short profile about my career path. Mr. Chairman, I also hold an MA in International Studies and Diplomacy from Washington International University, which I got through correspondence. Thank you.
Do you have an EBS or something like that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have also got a coveted honor of Elder of the Moran of the Burning Spear, which I was awarded in 2004 when I was the Provincial Commissioner for Western Kenya.
Thank you. Have you had your master's equated by Q?
Not yet, Mr. Chairman. I could not, because I couldn't get it on time.
Okay, but you have applied for the equation?
Yes, I have applied for it.
Okay, thank you very much. Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Now, what skills and unique competencies do you have that will help you in the execution of your mandate as a commissioner in the event that you are taken up as one?
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I come with a wealth of experience to the commission. Mr. Chairman, first and foremost, I have worked in every province of this country. I come with a geographical knowledge of this country that is second to none. So, Chairman, from the northern tip of Nadapal in the border with South Sudan, all the way to Mount Elgon, the last settlement in Trans Nzoia, which is Gitwamba, to the populous county of Kakamega, the small village of Luhume in just past Ishamalabandu, moving down south to Loitoktok. So, Chairman, going to the lake region, the islands of Sindo, the small settlement of, and the small but famous settlement of Rodikopine. Across, go to the coast province, Mr. Chairman, the Wasini Island, the Charlie Islands, the Faza Islands, the torturous journey to Kiunga at the coast with Somalia. Mr. Chairman, I have traversed this country, and that is an invaluable asset to the Commission when it comes to mapping and planning for an electoral process that is rigorous as it is in this country. That's one aspect, the geographical knowledge and understanding of the country. I have served in Kubu, I've served in Kiambu, I've served nearly in every part of this country. And therefore, I understand how Kenya's population is set up, how they feel, how communities feel during stress. So, Chairman, Madam panelist, I am also a practitioner of security. My entire time, nearly 27 years of service in the field, I have been handling security of elections. Therefore, election has been part of my life. I have midwifed the process of elections and logistical support in the back room for election processes in this country from the time I was a young DO to the level of a PC. So, Chairman, I witnessed the post-election violence as the PC Rift Valley. I was a then PC Rift Valley. I have first-hand experience on what an election that is contested by Kenyans can make this country to be. And therefore, I have an invaluable experience that very few can think about. So, Chairman, my role as a DC and a PC and as a DO is the role of coordination of government business, is the role of coordinating government agencies and non-government agencies. IEBC as a commissioner is a commission that works through other agencies. It's not an island. It cannot survive on its own. I bring wealth of experience as far as coordination of state actors and non-state actors are concerned for the benefit of this commission. Mr. Chairman, that is what I bring on board, and I have no doubt that I will be an invaluable asset for the commission if given the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan. I wish you the very best.
Thank you so
Chairman.
much.
Hassan, I thought you would mention my village, Koyonso, and you didn't mention it. It looks like you don't know the whole country.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
So thank you. I want to invite Caroline to ask you some questions. Carol, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Noor, what in your own understanding is the core mandate of the IBC?
Thank you, Madam. The core mandate of IEBC is to supervise and conduct elections, to register Kenyans for the purpose of registration, to supervise political party nomination exercises, to oversee a credible election, to ensure that Kenyans participate in the election in the most effective manner. It has the responsibility of also for oversighting political party nominations. I think I had mentioned that. Conducting a credible election amongst the many functions.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
another function is to carry out referendums, right?
Right.
So what is the procedure for referendum in this country?
Madam Chair, for referendum to be conducted, there must be a parliamentary approval to it. I don't know exactly what percentage of parliament requires to approve to conduct the referendum. The referendum question must be reduced to a yes or no, a very simple process that is allowed. I think, in my view, there's supposed to be collection of signatures across the entire country for purpose of authenticating the need to have the referendum. And therefore, the referendum process must be simple and clear to the Kenyans. Sensitization must be done across the country. There must be enough public participation in engaging the entire country so that people can understand what they need to do.
Lastly from me, how is IBC held accountable by the people?
IEBC is held accountable through different formats. One is in the use of resources. They are subject to the audit process by the public, the Auditor General's audit. IEBC is also responsive, should also be responsive to Kenyans in conducting a free and fair and election. And therefore, accountability rests with Parliament. If Parliament finds that anybody in the Commission is not conducting himself or herself properly, there's recourse to bad behavior, and therefore I think that's what I can think about.
Thank you, Noel. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to invite Koki Muli to ask you some questions. Madam Koki, please.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Noor Hassan, please list for the panel and those watching you at home 5 potential challenges to elections day operations and what you would do to address or prevent them from occurring should you be nominated as a member of IEBC.
The operational challenges.
Yes.
On the first day.
Election days operations.
On election day. Thank you. Madam Chair, one of the challenges in the election day is providing the necessary security at the election polling stations and election centers. I will liaise with the necessary state agencies and state actors in the security field to make sure that election is conducted peacefully. The environment and the area where election is going to be conducted is peaceful. The other challenge is
Mr. Hassan,
yes.
already on election day, the liaison has already been done. The security officers have already been posted in the polling stations, but these are happening on that day. Those challenges that I'm talking about.
Thank you. At times in the election, during the election days, we could have breach of security at polling stations, and therefore we'll call upon the respective state agencies responsible for security to make sure that security is restored. The breach of security can be from outside the polling station or from within the polling station. So at that moment, that's a challenge to the election process, and we'll be able to get in touch with the state agencies responsible for providing security. The other problem that challenge that can happen is it's natural disasters like rain, civil disobedience, breakdown in IT at the polling station. Maybe the KIM-SCIP are not functional. The service providers have not provided the internet connectivity that is so required. These are all challenges that happen during polling day. And there's always ways to ameliorate these problems. For example, the question of KIM-SCIP not functioning or the technological failure, the Iebc will definitely have provided for alternative method of voting to make sure nobody gets disenfranchised. Those are some of the things that I imagine would happen.
How do you prevent natural disasters like rain? And is rain a natural disaster? I'm just thinking, but how do you prevent it from occurring and disrupting elections on election day?
For example, the disruption by rain can be caused by, where election is being conducted. Maybe the polling station where election is being done. Supposing it's hit by thunder. Supposing the roofs have just been blown off by wind. So those are the natural disasters that I can see sometimes happening. And definitely alternative method of moving the voters safely without endangering their lives and the commission staff should be done in the right manner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to invite FCP Tanwi to ask you some questions. Please, Tanwi.
Thank you, Chair. Bwana Hassan, when you walked in, I used to think I knew you, but your new appearance is not the one that we used to see when you
are. New look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, as part of our recruitment process, we did write to various government agencies in line with Chapter 6 of our Constitution. And two of the government agencies we wrote to seeking for information on the applicants was Iebc and DPP, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and Director of Public Prosecution. Now, we received 2 letters each from the 2 institutions. The DPP, there was a first letter that made a reference to an anti-corruption case number 26 of 2016. And also the first letter of EACC also made a reference to that letter that there was a case they were investigating for which you were acquitted. But they had indicated that DPP had appealed that acquittal. Again, without our prompting, the same DPP wrote another letter and said, you have no case, that there is no ongoing case on you. And yesterday, we received another letter from EACC actually saying that that they have since learned that DPP has made application to withdraw the appeal. So maybe you can shed light on us on this particular case. There was the ACC case number 26 of 2016, and then also the Court of Appeal file number 4 of 2018. And why the two agencies are writing on one side something else, and then they are writing other letters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's true there was a case of 2016, which I was acquitted, along with very many other staff in the ministry. And therefore, I have no idea about another case that is existing. So, Mr. Chairman, the question about the different letters coming from the state agencies, I'm not privy to it, because it didn't come through me, and I have no idea about it.
Thank you. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
What was the case in 2016 about?
It was administrative wrongdoing in tendering process of some items that was purchased by National Youth Service, which products were taken on board by National Youth Service and used. And therefore, the ministry sought to find out from EACC, because of the noise, the political noise at that time, when payment process was being done, the ministry sought EACC to find out whether these payments are genuine, because the goods have already been taken on board. So it was a case of that nature. And then the payment was stopped. So there was no loss to government. It's just a question of administrative misunderstanding between EACC and the bank, and the political noise at that time about NYS. It had nothing to do with misappropriation of funds or funds lost or integrity issues of that kind.
And what was your role?
I was the chair of the tendering committee.
Okay. Was there any conviction?
No conviction.
Not even of any other officer who was accused alongside you?
No.
And there was no appeal by the ODPP?
I have no idea.
You have no idea that you went to the Court of Appeal to seek stay over that appeal?
Personally, I didn't. Maybe the other members have gone.
Okay. Thank you. Bwana Misati.
Thanks so much, Chair. Bwana Nul, I want to take you on the issue of IPC, Article 88 of our Constitution, which gives IPC the role of boundary delimitation, and ask you if you have information on when we did the last boundary delimitation. There are some constituencies which were protected constituencies. Please mention to the panel your understanding of why they were protected constituencies and how many they are.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I cannot. First of all, the review was done. The last review was done in 2012, and the next review was due after 8 years or after 12 years, as the Act provides for. Some of the boundaries that have been, some of the constituencies that have been protected, constituencies like Isiolo South or Isiolo County, in Isiolo County, they were, sorry, I can't remember any other constituency. That is, I can only remember Isiolo. They were protected because of special interest groups, because of the numbers. The population quota may not have reached the threshold required for a constituency. But because of the vast nature of the place and the geographical setup of the location and the diversity of the population, then certain constituencies would have been zeroed and identified as protected constituencies.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to ask Fatuma to ask you some questions. Fatuma, please.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Mr. Hassan, would you kindly tell the panel what governance principles should guide the IEBC engagement with election stakeholders?
Governance?
Principles that should guide the process which IEBC uses to engage its stakeholders.
IEBC should engage stakeholders in a manner that looks like they're engaging an entire stakeholders by making sure that special interest groups are provided for, that nobody is left behind, that there's fair hearing of all issues that have been raised by special interest groups. For example, the women, the youth, the people with disabilities, they must engage them. There must be fairness in making sure that every election issues are provided for during this stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement should not be done very close to the election, because once you do that, the hype of election, the emotions are running high. Nobody will be listening to stakeholders and the process as it were. So IEBC should make sure that the stakeholder engagement are done way far away from the process of election, because during elections, nothing normally happens. Unfortunately, IEBC is funded towards the tail end of the election cycle. That's why they run into the problems of giving stakeholder engagements at the last hour, and that has been very disadvantageous to the electoral process.
Very much. I wish you well. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask Nicodemus to ask some questions, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Bwana PC, I think they still call you that.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think causes procurement issues in institutions?
What
do you think brings about problems on procurement in institutions?
Problems of procurement in institutions are caused by inefficiencies. It's caused by last-minute rush of procurement processes. Overlooking processes within the procurement itself. In case of the IEBC, I think the biggest headache has been funding cycle. And that's why during procurement in the last hour, agencies that are providing services and goods can take the procurement, can take the organization, can hold the organization at ransom, because they know we are on strict deadlines that cannot be achieved without fast-tracking procurement. And they push you to the edge such that you have no other alternative but to go for restrictive tendering, for example. And when you do restrictive tendering, you tend to overlook certain aspects of the procurement procedures. So that's where the challenge comes. And therefore, in the case of IEBC, I think it starts with the funding cycle and ends with the funding cycle.
So
yeah, overpricing is also a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when procurement is not done right, do institutions lose money only, or there are other aspects that are lost?
Of course, when procurement is not done properly, institutions lose money. Institutions lose credibility too, because when you buy goods and services that you know very well the cost and the prices are out there in the market, you're buying you're buying the goods at threefold, fourfold. Therefore, you are losing not only resource, but you're also losing on credibility as an organization.
Thank you. So now that you are the chair of the procurement at NYS, and you've stated that there was no money lost, do you think the credibility of NYS was lost?
Certainly, credibility of an NYS was lost. It was lost not necessarily because of procurement. Procurement may have contributed. We were working on a strict deadline. NYS was working on a 24-hour cycle. People were working in the slums at night, daytime, all along. And therefore, beating deadlines of that nature will definitely constitute a breach of procurement processes. Not necessarily theft. Theft can happen in the process. But of course, you will get breach of administrative processes in procurement. And therefore, it brings an issue to the credibility of the organization. What made it worse, of course, was the political environment at the time. What made the whole thing, because many of the administrative problems that would have been resolved had to be resolved in other methods. So that's why you find that there are, of course, issues that you run into if you don't do things properly.
During that process, during the NYS, where the country called it a scandal, you and one called Harake were indicted by the court for not appearing. Almost did cancel your bond. Is that true?
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We appeared. And that's the case which we were acquitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
On that question of procurement, you talked about how procurement can cause loss of funds. My memory serves me well. I think there was a television that was going to go at about 1.7 million or something like that. Condom dispenser for $250 US. You don't think that you as a chair, that was a dereliction of duty in terms of stewardship?
Mr. Chairman, a lot of the hype at that time was basically media propaganda.
So we blame it on media.
There's no way somebody in his sane mind, somebody who can sit in an office, somebody who has worked for the last 35 years, built a name and a career, can sit down at the end of it and buy a condom for $250. Mr. Chairman, that was a media hype. There was no truth in it.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask Professor, please, Prof.
Thank you, Chair. Hassan Nur Hassan. Let me take you back to the case. You were acquitted under Section 210 after the prosecution had made its case. Were you asked to present a defense?
We present ourselves for defense.
But were you acquitted procedurally that their prosecution could not provide any evidence to sustain the case?
Mr. Chairman, if you are accused and you are acquitted, really, and you have gone through the entire court process.
Yes.
You have gone to the dock and you have presented your case.
That's my point.
Yes.
Okay.
We have.
The EACC further says that the Director of Public Prosecutions filed an appeal against the acquittal by ACC Appeal number 4 of 2018. And you said you are not aware. Because it's the DPP or DPP appealing. You have already been acquitted.
Yes, I've been acquitted.
Yeah, so it's all DPP appealing. So you are on record that from 2018 to now, you don't know why that appeal or where it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
And if it's there, why would it be there?
Yeah, 7 years is a long time.
7 years, a long time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The EACC further says in its letter of 23rd April that they have become aware that the DPP has made application to withdraw the appeal. Is there any way you would be aware of that?
I will not, but I will develop interest to go and check.
The only letter from ODP, or from the office of ODPP that I have in my file that was dated 10th April responds to the chairman's letter dated 1st April. And it says, Hassan Nur Hassan 0013793 being your ID number. In the column of whether there are ongoing proceedings, it says none. And it's your position that there is no proceedings ongoing against you. And the DPP affirms in this letter to the chair of the selection panel. So as far as you are concerned, there's no case.
Not that I know.
You are acquitted.
Yes.
Thank you. When we leave that, we come to public trust and integrity. What is the role of personal integrity in inspiring public confidence in an institution like the Iebc?
Can you repeat again, please, sir?
What is the role of personal integrity in inspiring public confidence in an institution like the Iebc?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Iebc is a very critical commission. And Iebc is a commission that takes the responsibility of ensuring that there's free and fair election, credible election, and therefore personal integrity is very critical to ensure that whoever goes on that commission is of high integrity, and therefore it's a hallmark of ensuring that you are of sound integrity to be able to deliver and develop and have trust by Kenyans in your performance as a commissioner of Iebc or any other employee.
Lastly, in this segment, Iebc commissioners are required to remain politically neutral. What actions would Hassan Nur Hassan take if he were commissioner to ensure impartiality in his decision-making and conduct?
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Mr. Chair. In my entire working life, I have worked impartially, and I will make sure that the integrity of Iebc in decision-making and impartiality is upheld. I have no doubt my level of patriotism and loyalty to this country is beyond reproach. I have done my best in all my working life to make sure that I remain loyal to the cause of the constitution of this country. And I will say no when no is the right answer, without any fear or favor.
Thank you, Chair.
On the question of public perception, you ran for a political seat in 2022. Did you?
I did.
Was it on a political party or you are an independent candidate?
Political party.
Which one?
ODM.
Okay. Is it possible that this might be seen to compromise your impartiality should you become a commissioner?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think that is the history behind my back. I have no attachment to any or no attachment to any position that I have run for. It's one chapter of my life that I did try, I didn't succeed, and it's over. I have moved on to my next other life, which is my belief that I can do good for the commission. So it will not compromise my position. That is a chapter that I've left.
Thank you. Professor, do you have any other two questions, please?
Yes. Buona PC.
Yes, bro.
Usually in this segment, through the chair, we ask high school questions. Let me say, for your age, you have kept well, so you should be able to deal with high school questions based on just your appearance. Should I know you've served for so long in the public administration sector, and usually one of the questions we ask is where you have the most experience. So just for my information to allow me to ask the question, before you rose to your highest rank, when were you made a DO? Which year?
1986.
1986. And that makes me ask the question, because of the job you want, that in 1986 and therefore 1988, applicable provincial administrators, right from the PC to the DC to the DO, used to serve as returning officers and presiding officers in elections. And I believe you implied that in your presentation. That time in our country, being a one-party state, what would you tell this panel and the country? What were the advantages, if any, for the provincial administration to serve as returning officers, and the disadvantages that appertained to that, so that Kenyans can appreciate having an independent electoral and boundary commission that is impartial in the eyes of the public?
Thank you, Prof. Prof, you have said rightly that the provincial administration in the yesteryears of the 80s and beyond served as returning officers in election processes. Of course, there are advantages to it and disadvantages to it. The advantages to it is that there was, at that time, the political process in the country was not as profound as it is today. And Kenyans, the Bill of Rights, and Kenyans have not understood really the process of election during that time. The advantage, of course, that you could mobilize resources for the election management body at that time. For example, human resources. You could use all government employees to work for the election process. You can mobilize all government vehicles in your area of jurisdiction to make sure that the electoral management body gets the resources. And therefore, it had that advantage: resource mobilization, a bit of control to making sure that there's harmony, the electoral environment is peaceful, because the presumed high-handedness by provincial administration at that time was bringing sanity to the people, so that people don't misbehave during elections as they do today. That may be some little advantage, but by and large, the current situation is more advantageous because the rights of citizens are protected. IEBC is an independent organization. It's impartial. They make decisions based on their own judgments. They make decisions based on the law of the country without any influence. During that time, there could be influence from the higher offices to an extent. I didn't participate as a returning officer, as a young officer, because I was a young DO then. But along the way, I of course participated in providing logistical support and security support to the electoral management body, and therefore the current situation, Kenya has come a long way, and I think the government, the country, and citizens of this country must be proud that they have evolved over a period of time from the slow process of elections, the Mlolongo system, the high-handedness by administration at that time, what was perceived to be high-handedness at that time in election management.
My last question. which has nothing to do with the provincial administration. Name one global office of the United Nations which is headquartered in Nairobi.
One,
Just one.
okay. UNEP is headquartered in Nairobi. UN Habitat is equally headquartered here.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. We appreciated your time and your engagement on this particular interview. I don't know whether you have any comment or a question to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, panelists, for giving me this singular honor to present my case to you. I have given my best to this country. I have done close to 35, 37 years of service, and I still believe I can do more. I come with a wealth of experience. I hope this panel will find it suitable to recommend me for this position. And I promise the country in this forum that I will remain impartial, loyal, patriotic to the true tenets of law, as when I'm called upon to provide another time of service for this country. So I live and I pray that God gives you the wisdom and courage to choose the best for this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. PC. We want to release you. The pen and the notebook are yours. They can be your souvenirs. And your certificates will be with one of our officers at the door. Thank you and blessings to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Whatever I have left, I think is my CV and my records and everything is there.
Yes, we do have
whatever I have not remembered.
Yes, we have read your CV
like
very well. That's why we
like
shortlisted
the Huduma awards and all that I have gotten from the UMA Public Service Award from UN, the National Human Rights Commission.
Yes, the EBS one overrides all those, so it's good. Yes. Thank you. It represents all those things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I removed my cap because during stressful moments, the head needs to ventilate.
It did.
Especially when Prof is asking you very hard questions, then you start, the kipara starts moving.
You see his is complete.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's 13:55. I think if we break now, we'll allow Fatima to pray. They will come and finish on the papers at the end of the session. Next session, I think we have one more candidate. Is it one? Yes. One more candidate. So can we take that candidate at 3? At 3 we finish early. It is 5 minutes to 3 is okay? Okay, sir, thank you. Okay. Can we do 3:15, Fatima? Yes. 3:15. Thank you. Tumekuja katikati 3:15. Okay. So can we have Michael Ben Olieo Onyango? Watu wenye wako na majina sentence. Oh, it's Michael's. Okay. Onyango. Onyango. Yes, Michael's.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Onyango, karibu.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Please have a seat.
I like the way you pronounce my name.
You know, I was living in the US, so. Okay.
I understand.
You understand, yes. My name is Nelson Makanda.
Yes, please.
And I'm the chair of this selection panel.
Yes, please.
Nice to have you. Thank you for showing interest
Thank you for having
in
me.
the position we advertised, and congratulations for being shortlisted.
Thank you.
I want to invite, my colleagues to introduce themselves so that we can be able to proceed with this. You have a pen and a paper, notebook there. And
Yes, sir.
in an afternoon like this, some people have taken some water. So there's water for you.
Thank you. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Karibu.
Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Michaels, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
My name is Linda Kiome. I want to welcome you for your interview session. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Madam Linda.
Bwana Onyango, mimi naitwa Bwana Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa jopo hili la uteuzi. Asante.
Thank you, Bwana Tanui.
Mr. Onyango, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Caroline Kituku, karibu.
Thank you very much, Madam
Good
Kituku.
afternoon, Oleo.
Good afternoon, Prof.
My name is Adam Solo. I'm a member of the selection panel.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Good afternoon, Michael Ben Olieo Onyango.
Good afternoon, Honorable Bore.
Mimi naitwa Nicodemus Bore, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. Onyango.
Good afternoon, Madam Saman.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcomed.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm choosing the name. Good afternoon, Mr. Onyango, na karibu sana. My name is Koki Muli Grinyo, and I'm a member of the selection panel.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
Karibu.
Thank you.
Chair, let me also disclose that Mike is one of the chairs of the subcommittees that work within the PPLC. And I know him as a chairman of that subcommittee in the PPLC where I'm the chairman, but that will not in any way sway my way of judgment. So Mike, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair.
My name is Evans Misati, and I'm a member of this selection panel. He also calling me chair. He's used to calling me chair.
For this purpose, I'm the only chair here.
Most obliged.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Now, Michaels, we want you to introduce yourself. Let us know that which is significant in your profile and what matches your interest in IBC. Highlight if you have any award or honor given to you, and also mention if you're a member of any professional society or group. Karibu tafadhali.
Thank you very much, Chair.
For the record, do that in about 5-6 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you.
For the record, my name is Michael Ben Olieo Onyango. I was born on 2nd of April, 1970. Yes, please. I was born on 2nd of April 1970 in Ngunya village, Central Lugenya location, Ugunja constituency in Siaya County. I went to primary school in 1977 in Ngunya Primary School until 1983. 1984, I went to St. Gabriel's Seminary in Kisumu. I wanted to be a Catholic priest. I was there until 1987. 1988, I went for A-levels in Mwere High School, 1988-89. Then in 1990, I went to the University of Nairobi, where I studied political science 311. After that, my first job from the university was with Center for Law and Research International, where I was approached by Professor Kivutha Kibwana, who was then the director, as a research assistant. We published a book thereafter. The book is called Anatomy of Corruption. After that, I became a manager in a health fitness club. It's called Satva Sauna. After that, I became marketing manager for Grand Venture and Investments Company. Until 1997, then I left. And since then, I have been in political space, civil society space, and electoral space. 1997, again, I became deputy director at NCEC. NCEC was National Convention Executive Committee. I can see Ambassador Grignon smiling. I was deputy director there. We were in this committee to push for a conversation about Kenya. Thereafter, NCEC, the National Convention Executive Committee, transformed into National Executive Council, National Convention Executive Council. That was 1997. The same year, I was elected as a board member of the National Council of NGOs. It used to be called NGO Council. Still in civil society space, went on. 2002, I was delegate number 613 at Bomas for the writing of the new constitution for the Republic of Kenya. We were there in 2002. It was incidental. We went there and we only slept once. The following day, the president, the late President Moi, dissolved parliament, and in so doing, denied the conference its quorum. So we went home until the following year when elections were held and Mwai Kibaki became president, and then he reconvened the Bomas talks again. So we were in Bomas again from 2003, Bomas 1, Bomas 2, Bomas 3. And I'm glad to announce from there, we got a new constitution. Mr. Chairman, in the course of my life, I and like-minded friends, we later formed African Center for Hope and Initiative Everywhere, ACHIEVE, which works across borders in promotion of governance and democracy in our continent here. Thereafter, we also formed Socioeconomic Rights Center, CERES, again, working in civil society spaces for the promotion of democracy and the rights of the citizen. As I sit here, I am currently the chair of the Legal and Disputes Resolution Subcommittee of the Political Parties Liaison Committee. I have been elected 3 times to that position since 2019. Now, the Political Parties Liaison Committee is established under Section 38 of the Political Parties Act, Cap 7D. It is a tripartite arrangement that brings together the Iebc, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, and all the 90 registered political parties in Kenya. We work jointly. This was one of the recommendations of the Kriegler report. You remember we had a problem in this country in the year 2007, 2008 when we had post-election violence. And when the mediation was over, Johan Kriegler, a judge from South Africa, was invited here to look at our electoral processes. And one of his recommendations was that the Political Parties Act had to be looked at afresh. He recommended a broad reform of the electoral laws, but I want to talk about the Political Parties Act because it is in section 38 of the Political Parties Act that the Political Parties Liaison Committee is founded to bring together Iebc, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, and political parties. This was because it became very clear.
So you sit at PPLC?
Yes, I do.
Chair a subcommittee?
I chair a subcommittee there.
So does that mean that you're an official of a political party? Or
I am not, but I work for a political party as a volunteer.
Okay.
Yes, chair. Now, the reason why PPLC was formed was because Johan Kriegler and his team realized that there was no communication, no proper communication between the political players in Kenya. And that brought suspicion, distrust, and tension. And that is what brought us problems in 2007 and 2008. So we work closely.
I think that's good enough for your introduction, unless if there's something else you've said about PPLC, anything else about you? About Johan Kriegler, we'll come to it at some point. Yes,
okay.
Yes, yes.
Out of my experience in the political field, in electoral spaces, and in civil society spaces, I am sure that my experience aligns clearly with Article 88, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution that gives the broad mandate of the IEBC. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Madam Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Michaels.
Yes, Madam Linda.
What unique competencies and professional experiences do you have that you have attained within the course of your career journey that you think will help you in the execution of your mandate as an IBC commissioner?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Linda. That's a very good question. First, I'm a political scientist from the University of Nairobi. From there, I have been in the electoral space all my adult life. In electoral space, I have been with political parties. I have mentored candidates. I know the pain political parties go through, particularly during election time. The experience that I have with political party management will be very useful when I join the commission because I will be bringing to them, the commission, the experiences right from the ground. Because the political parties go through a lot of stress, particularly during election time. Tight deadlines, administrative decisions, which sometimes are not communicated well, stonewalling, and all these, I think the commission needs somebody who can communicate directly how the political parties feel out there.
Okay, and what are your best interpersonal skills that will also enable you to execute your mandate?
Number one, I am a very consultative person. I consult a lot. I am a team player. I love carrying everybody on board. I don't like dictatorial tendencies. I like consultativeness. I am a very transparent person, Madam Linda. I am a man of very high integrity, and that's why I'm making all these disclosures here. I encourage inclusivity. I care a lot about constitutionality and the rule of law.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michaels, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Madam Linda.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I want to ask Caroline Kituku to ask you some questions. Carol, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Nyango.
Yes, please.
The Constitution empowers voters,
yes, please,
if unsatisfied with their member of parliament,
yes, please,
to recall him.
Yes, please.
Under what grounds can voters recall their member of parliament, and what is the procedure?
Okay. The Constitution empowers members, citizens, to recall their member of parliament. One of the grounds would be incompetence. The other ground would be abuse of office. The other ground would be unethical behavior. The other ground would be lack of respect for his voters. All these are sufficient grounds for a recall of a member of parliament.
What is the procedure? Should one desire to have to recall? How should they go about it?
What I know is, one, if you want to recall your member of parliament, you do a petition. Roughly, you collect signatures from the voters of that member of parliament. And there is a threshold which I don't have here with me. But I know that is the beginning of how to recall a member of parliament. The petitioning, collection of signatures, and proceeding onwards.
What is the mandate of the IBC in that process?
When the IBC must look at the signatures themselves, in my opinion, and see if they are genuine from the people who purport to be the members, to be the voters of that member of parliament. After verification, then the petition is deemed as valid. Yes.
Thank you very much. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me ask Madam Koki to ask you some questions, please, Koki.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Onyango,
Yes, Ambassador.
what 3 good things would happen in Kenya
Yes.
if we have an all year round mass registration drives by IEBC between election, after every election to the next election?
What 3 good things would
3
happen
good things would happen
if we have mass registration all year round? Number one, it would help in netting all those Kenyans who have reached the age of registering as voters. Number 2, it would help in registering those who could have registered earlier but were left out in the previous registration drives. And number 3, it would help the country in achieving greater democracy, because we'll have more people now participating in the affairs of their country, which is a good thing for the country.
Is that all?
You asked me for 3. May I add the 4th one?
The 1 and 2 are the same,
Oh,
similar.
okay, the 3rd one is different. When mass registration happens throughout the year, one thing, it reduces the stress on IEBC, because sometimes we only have 1 month for registration of voters. But when it is done all year round, we are relaxed and people can register at their own time, which is also good. It does not strain resources of IEBC.
Thank you. Related to that,
Yes, please.
What would you, if you are fortunate to go to IEBC,
God willing.
beyond what I've asked you,
Yes.
what else would you do to ensure that the register is comprehensive, is current, and current and comprehensive?
Okay.
Meaning it also is clean. Also clean.
There are 2 approaches from where I sit. There are 2 views I hold about the voter register. One of them is to clean it. The other one is to do away with it and start afresh. Because the reason why I think it's just good to throw it away and start afresh is because our voter register is very complicated. The last time we tried to clean it, it did not come out well. And yet it is cheaper to just start registering Kenyans afresh. It's much cheaper than giving an audit firm money to clean a register, which can actually just be thrown away. So that is the position that I hold.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Onyango.
Thank you, Ambassador.
As the chair pronounced.
Yes.
And all the best.
Thank you.
Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to ask FCPA Tanui to ask you some questions. Please, Tanui.
Thank you, Chair. Bwana Ben.
Yes, Bwana Tanui.
What happened to your original certificate?
There was a burglar in my house, and my suitcase was stolen with my certificate. So I did what I ought to have done. As a responsible citizen, I reported to the police, and I got the abstract, and I went to the University of Nairobi, Chiromo campus, and I got the documents that I presented before this honorable panel.
So when did you graduate?
Okay, can I give you a small history?
No, just when did
We graduated in 1994, but I finished my exams in 1993.
Mhm.
The reason being, we finished our exams, and the following day was November 1st, and the first UASU strike started on November 1st, 1993, and it went up to 1994. By the time the matter was resolved, it was way into 1994, and then other faculties finished, and then we graduated on the same day in 1994.
Which was on?
Pardon?
You graduated on a Saturday.
Oh, I can't remember which day it was, but but I graduated in 1994. I'll have to check the date. I do not recall which day it was. Is there any doubt?
Yeah, if you look at that letter
Yes,
from
please.
the university,
Yes.
it says that you graduated on a Saturday,
Yeah.
on 10th of November, 1994. Now, 10th of November,
Yes.
1994
Yes.
was on a Thursday.
Okay. I do not recall exactly which day of the week it was, but if there was a mistake in that letter, I'll take it back for correction. That I assure you.
That letter is
Because
dated 2015. So
and
it
nowadays,
never, yeah.
but by the way, Bwana Tanui, nowadays all these things are online. If you want to know whether I graduated or not, it's online, really. I have no problem. If it can be cross-checked even when I'm here, I'm sure there are competent staff here who can cross-check if I graduated from the University of Nairobi.
Okay. Chair, I think that is it from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask Misati.
Thanks so much. So, Mike.
Yes, please.
If you find favor with this panel and you are given a member of the IPC commissioners, please tell the panel members the priority activities you will prioritize before the next general election 2027. Measure 3 activities.
Number 1, which is very close to my heart, priority activities for me, first of all, would be engagement with political parties. The reason why I would persuade my fellow commissioners to be having quarterly meetings with political parties every quarter, so that political parties know what is going on towards 2027. Part of the reason why there is usually suspicion in our electoral process is because political parties are kept in the dark. Most of the time, major policy decisions are not communicated to political parties, and then political parties start suspecting that actually there is something cooking behind the scenes. So number 1 would be engagement with political parties on a quarterly basis. Number 2 would be voter education in a big way. In fact, voter education should be ongoing throughout, so that people know, because there is a certain generation here that does not feel that they should vote for their leaders. We must carry out extensive voter education, and in that activity, I would prefer that it is political parties that should be engaged by IEBC to do voter education for them, because political parties have structures right up to the village. IEBC does not have structures up to the village. So political parties are best placed to carry out this voter education on behalf of IEBC, so that Kenyans can realize the need to be part of the electoral process of this country. Thirdly, I would also persuade IEBC to set aside a fund to facilitate political party capacity building. Our parties are not very financially strong generally. And since we are in a tripartite arrangement, which is IEBC, ORPP, and political parties, I think IEBC should set aside a fund to help in capacity building of political parties, so that everybody grows together. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks so much. Now, another question I wanted to ask you.
Yes, please.
Your understanding of how the elected leaders
Yes.
affect the work of IEBC,
Yes.
particularly once the commissioners or the leaders have been elected.
Yes, please.
How, in their way of dispensing their maybe devolved funds, CDF, how does that affect the work of IPC?
Pardon, how elected leaders?
Their way elected leaders can affect the work of IPC in the way they dispense their devolved funds, particularly the CDF, and if they count governments, we have bursaries and other things.
You see, politicians by nature have interests, and every politician wants to have an IBC that is pliable, that is manipulable, but it all depends on the internal structures of IBC. If the structures are strong, if the governance structures are strong, I don't think IBC staff should be bending to the whims of politicians.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best, Mike.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
I invite Fatuma to ask you some questions, Fatuma.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Nyango.
Yes, please.
You said you were which delegate number?
613.
613.
Yes, please.
You are representing
Political parties.
political parties.
Yes, please.
Okay. What were the principles that were guiding the discussions for civil society then? Can you remember the principles that were guiding?
At that time, civil society was engaged very clearly on pushing for a new constitution, increase in democratic space, and greater respect for human rights. That is what was driving the conversation in Kenya at that time. Yes, please.
You came in as a representative of political parties, but not the districts.
But
you were not representing districts by then.
No. I came from political parties.
Okay.
Yes.
How many were you from the political parties?
I can't remember, but we were, I think, 42 or something. Because all political parties had representatives in Bomas.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, if you are to be charged with the responsibility of supporting the process of developing a stakeholder engagement strategy, how would you go about it? What are the processes involved? What is the content of that strategy?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Saman. In terms of stakeholder engagement, the first thing I would do, or the first thing my team would do would be to do an audit of all stakeholders. Name them, list them, understand their capacity, what they are capable of doing, and what they cannot do. Once that is done, then invite them for meetings so that we understand, we set the ground rules of engagement. Number 3, communicate the same to the public. Communication is very important. When such decisions are being made, the public need to know what IBC is doing. And then we would start working. We would develop the ground rules, we would develop the terms of reference, and we proceed. But we would make sure that we follow very clear principles. Number 1, inclusivity. We would want to include everybody from every corner of Kenya in the engagement process. It should not be sectarian, it should not be regional, it should be national, it should involve everybody. Number 2, it should have very high respect for gender, for marginalized people, for minorities, and for people living with disabilities. Everybody must be involved in the stakeholder engagement. Besides that, we must agree as a matter of principle to be extremely transparent in the engagement so that people can have trust in the engagement itself. Thank you, Madam.
What were your key items that you presented when you were at Bomas? Which committee did you work with?
I was the vice chair of the Media Advisory Committee. Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
So which chapter were this contributing to?
No. The Media Advisory Committee was one of the committees of the conference. So that was different from the committees. The committees were different. There were the committees on devolution, committee on executive, committee on land, committee on environment, committee on tourism, on culture and national values. At that level, I belong to the committee on executive.
The executive.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I wish you well.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. I want to ask Nicodemus to ask you some question. Nicodemus, please.
Thank you very much, Michaels.
Yes, please.
You have said you are a man of the highest integrity.
Impeccable character.
Impeccable character.
Yes, please.
Which laws complement the Constitution in setting out integrity standards for public officers, and what key mechanisms do they provide?
Thank you. I will start with Article 73 of the Constitution that talks about selfless leadership. I would go to Article 75 that talks about conduct of public officers, both in private and in public. I would go to Article 76, which talks about financial probity of public officers. I would go to Leadership and Integrity Act, which is a statute which governs the conduct of public officers. I would go to Public Officer Ethics Act, 2003. All these shall be my guiding principles if I become a commissioner of Iebc. I take the law very seriously. And the law is usually where I start all my transactions. I start from the law. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mike, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mahesh.
I want to invite Professor to ask you some questions, Prof.
Thank you, Chair. Leo.
Yes, Prof.
Have you ever
Yes, please.
made a decision that was unpopular but necessary? And if there is such an instance, what values guided your stance and what was the outcome? If there isn't, I'll go to the next question.
I am ready to answer, Prof.
Yeah, I was just alerting you that in case there isn't, I would go to the next question. But if there is, go ahead.
Prof, as I said to the answer to the previous question, I am a man of high integrity. I make all my disclosures in the open. And when I make a decision, I'm ready to defend it. I will defend it using the law. I will defend it using my personal values. So I have never had a challenge making a decision, however unpopular it is, or even if it is going to cost me anything. Thank you.
And lastly from me is, imagine,
yes, please.
Michael Oleo is a commissioner.
Yes, please.
And a critical electoral process has been disrupted by unexpected legal or technological challenges. How would you respond as a commissioner to restore public confidence and operational continuity?
Thank you, Prof. That's a very good question. The disruption is both technological and legal from your question. My first step would be to assemble, because the Iebc is a big institution that has solid directorates dealing with technology and the legal aspects. Bring them together first so that we discuss and understand what the problem is. After that, we discuss on the interventions that are necessary. I said at the beginning that I'm a very consultative person. I don't make decisions alone. Once we agree as a team on the interventions that are necessary, we implement. But most importantly is that these interventions must be communicated to the public immediately and with clarity so that we dispel rumors and we do away with the distrust. It's very important that these interventions be communicated immediately and with clarity to the public so that they know exactly what we are doing about the problem.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Leo, in 2022, did you run for elections?
I did not.
Okay. Was your name submitted to IEBC?
For running?
As a candidate for any position?
No, I was not a candidate, Mr. Chairman.
Well, did your name appear as on the nomination list?
A nomination list is not a candidate. A candidate vies for a seat.
Okay. So which one was that?
I think my name was forwarded as a nominee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it did not succeed. But I never vied as a candidate.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, Prof, do you want to ask the last two questions, please?
It's just a clarification through your chair.
Okay, please proceed.
See, nomination lists, in our case, what we call party lists, is equivalent to a mixed member proportional system or a pure proportional system. So let's say we were in South Africa and parties presented a list. Would they be called candidates?
Let me answer you clearly, and that's a very good question. The Kenyan legal framework, beginning with the Constitution and the statutes, does not recognize MMPR, the mixed member proportional representation. So it does not apply to us here. Here, what we have are people who run for elections, single constituency candidacy.
Let me tweak it around.
Yes, please.
UDA,
yes, please,
in Nairobi, because Nairobi has, is it 85 wards?
85, exactly.
So the Electoral Commission expects 85 names.
Yes.
In other words, if UDA was to win all seats,
yes, please,
in Nairobi, then the 85 would also be nominated from UDA. And it will be on the basis, so let's say UDA was to win 90%, so that my point comes home. Then 10% of the people in the list would not make it because it went to other parties. So if you are at the tail end of the list and your chances of making it is slim, what are you? Are you not a nominee candidate that if we win this much, then you become nominated?
My understanding of the law is very simple. When elections are called, we have aspirants. Then they transform to candidates. Then they proceed to contest against other candidates. Anybody who is not contesting is not a candidate.
So
even if ODM has a list of 100 people,
so what
they want to nominate, but they are not contesting, they are not candidates.
Okay, let me just then I'll give up. So yes, you have a very, very good expose.
Yes.
That in the open elections,
yes,
you move from aspirant
to candidate.
Yes. In the party list, you move from what to what?
You move from nothing to nothing. You are just in the party list.
Okay,
you are not competing against anybody.
But you are competing against those who are in the list.
No. The list, there is no competition in the list.
Okay,
I've prepared one before. There is no competition.
Right now,
yes,
there's a competition over who should replace John Mbadi in terms of interpretation. That who next in the list should replace it. That's not a competition.
Now, that is where, with all due respect, that is where there is mischief.
Yes.
Because a party list should be sacrosanct. If Professor's name is number 1 and my name is number 2, and Professor decides to become cabinet secretary, I should automatically. That is the reason why party lists are made. Party lists are not supposed to be made then when Professor becomes cabinet secretary, then we start having a discussion. Oh, it should be Bore, it should be Tanui. It shouldn't be like that. Okay. Party lists are supposed to be sacrosanct.
Thank you. Okay. Let me go to my questions.
Thank you. Before you go to your questions.
Yes, please.
There are 12 seats for nomination, isn't it?
Yes, please.
what the people who fill up those seats, what are they? Before they fill the 12 nomination slots in parliament, what are they?
They are just members of the party. They are not candidates. They are not competing against anything. They're not competing against anybody.
So this is semantics. You're competing for 12 seats.
No. Once the party puts you in the list, you are not competing against anybody.
Okay. The next question before Prof comes.
Oh, sorry, Chair.
Did you indicate in your CV that you were a lecturer at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University?
There was an institute for law and governance, which was a program between Center for Multi-Party Democracy and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University, and it was being done here in Nairobi, and that's where we were teaching.
So, what program were you teaching?
Conflict resolution mechanisms.
As an academic program or as a continuous learning non-formal program?
It was an academic program.
At what level?
I think our students were basically certificate holders. Mm-hmm. It was their program.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a pre bachelor's program.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Prof, proceed.
Usually we finish through the chair with what we call high school questions. And Michael Oliao told us that one of his expertise is that he's a political scientist.
And also a political animal.
So let's go to basic concepts 101 in political science.
Yes, please.
Kenya celebrates self-government, what we call in Kiswahili Madaraka, 1st June 1963. Kenya also celebrates what we call Jamhuri, which is republic, that it became in 12th December 1964. But countries around us and globally celebrate Independence Day, which Kenya became on 12th December 1963. Why is it that Kenya doesn't celebrate Independence Day?
You know, by 1st June 1963, Kenya gained independence with Jomo Kenyatta as Prime Minister. Because at that time, the Queen was still the head of the realm, the head of the Commonwealth and the head of state here. The following year, when Kenya became a republic means a country or a nation that does not recognize foreign royalty on its shores. So that is what happened on 12th of December 1964 when Kenya became a republic. The Queen of England ceased to be the head of state of this realm.
True, but we became independent on 12th December 1963 formally. So why don't we celebrate it?
We usually celebrate 1st of June, and
which
also
was
self-government, and then the attainment of the republic on 12th of December. We've always done that.
Which year?
Pardon?
12th of December, which year?
We used to do it. 12th of December, we used to do Jamhuri Day. Actually, it used to be called Jamhuri Day.
It's still called Jamhuri Day.
Yes.
Was it 1963 or
1964? So we celebrate both. We've always celebrated Madaraka Day and Jamhuri Day, Prof.
No, but I asked about Independence Day, which we became on 12th December 1963.
You know, we use Kiswahili. Madaraka means that independence.
No, Madaraka means self-government, which you just explained very well.
I think from where I sit, my interpretation is that this is what ought to be the Independence Day. But we cease to be a republic
the Queen
the following day.
Head of state.
Pardon?
with the Queen still the head of state, you should
ceremonially she was, but we attained self-rule.
No, that
in
one I've
1963.
agreed. Then I also told you it's also a fact
Yes.
that on 12th December 1963, the Governor General
63 or 64?
63. That's why I
Yes.
told you
Yes.
that there is 1st June 1963 self-government.
Yes.
12th December 1963, the Governor General in a ceremony hands over the instruments, the Constitution, the what have you, as a sign of independence. Then on 12th December 1964, as you correctly said, the British flag comes down and we become a republic. And my question was, there was a ceremony on 12th December 1963 occasioning independence. So why don't we celebrate it?
I still repeat what I'm saying. 12th of December has always been a national holiday that we celebrate here.
Thank you. Yes. Let me go to the next one.
Yes, please.
Which is not political science, but is more of history and heritage.
Yes, please.
Name one African empire from pre-colonial history.
Songhai Empire and Mali Empire. I've named two.
Yes, that's why I said thank you.
Okay.
Carol?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Onyango, I have a small concern that
Please
I would
proceed.
like you to help me clarify.
Yes, please.
I've seen your document from the University of Nairobi.
Yes, please.
I am not sure what is the area of study that you did
Yes,
in
please.
undergraduate. Some of us are very keen to details. Have you had a look at that document?
Yes, I have.
What does it say you studied?
Bachelor of Arts?
You sure?
Yes, it does.
Please look at it again.
What does it say? Show me.
Read it to us.
This is to certify that Mr. Oleo Michaels Ben was a registered student in the Faculty of Arts and was conferred with the degree of Bachelor of Second Class Honors, Upper Division.
In the university called Bachelor of Second Class Honors, I got confused. Like, do you see the anomaly?
Faculty of Arts was
No,
a
no.
registered student at the Faculty of Arts and was conferred with the degree of Bachelor Second Class Honors, Upper Division. It could be a
Bachelor
typo on their
of-
part.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Yes.
pointing it out to you
Okay.
as an anomaly.
Oh,
It's not a conversation for you to
all right.
argue. Please rectify that.
That
because
will be
I'm
done
not sure
immediately.
what you studied now in the university.
I'll-
But
I'll-
given by that, thank you.
I'll certainly write to them so
Thank
that
you, Chairman.
they rectify this.
Thank you. Okay, Tanui?
Yes, another correction
Yes,
is
please,
that
Brother.
the graduation was not on a Saturday,
Yes,
it was on a Thursday. So I have it corrected.
I'll do the letter myself and
Yeah.
it will reach them the earliest opportunity possible.
Okay.
Clarification.
Okay.
Michaels,
Yes, please.
do you use always the name Michaels or there are times you change that name?
My name in the ID is Michaels Ben Oleo Onyango.
Mhm.
Okay.
My family members call me Mike.
Do you use it in official? Do you use it officially? Do you use Mike officially?
When I do articles, by the way, I'm also a writer. I sign off as Mike Oleo.
Oh, okay. Because you are the delegate shown as 613 is Mike,
Yes, Mike Oleo.
not Michaels.
Yes, I use them interchangeably.
So at Bomas, that's the name you use.
Yes, that's the name I used, Mike Oleo.
Do you recall any of the members who are in Bomas here in the room?
Ambassador Kokimuli was there.
Okay,
I saw her there.
okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Which party were you representing?
Party of Independent Candidates of Kenya, PIC.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. You may need to ask an advocate to write the letter to the university.
I will take it up myself.
Yes, but
I am the aggrieved party
Okay.
and I'll do it myself, Chair.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. I want to ask Prof. You had finished your question, Prof? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We Wish you well.
Thank you.
30 seconds for any comment or question.
I want to thank you very sincerely, this honorable panel, for giving me the opportunity to appear before you so that I explain why I think that my background, that my experience, that my personal values will be of use to the IEBC should I find favor in your eyes. And I am pleading that I be given that favor, that opportunity to serve this country, because I know from a person who has worked with political parties all my life, I know the pain that they are going through, and I will be in the commission to make sure that the relationship between IEBC and political parties works for the betterment of this beloved country, Kenya. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you and blessings to you. You are free. The notebook and the pen are yours.
Thank you.
And please do not leave your certificates behind. Blessings to you.
Asante sana.
Nashukuru. Asante. Okay. Members of the media, we want to thank you very much. We have come to the end of our day today, finished our interviews. Tomorrow we start at 8:30 and possibly we'll finish by lunchtime, by midday, and we shall call it a day. We are grateful for enabling us and enabling Kenyans to be able to be part of this process. So asanteni sana. Thank you.
A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi. It's my pleasure to have you on board on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. This afternoon, I'm joined here by Wakili Willis Otieno, who is my resident guest, as well as the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party. Wakili, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for joining us and for making time for us on this special episode of the Candy Talk. I wonder, or rather, it's not even me who wonders, but where is your party leader and where are you in terms of engagement with Kenyans? Because Kenyans have seen Jimmy Wanjigi, Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi, at least attend